Now in the past, we've done a few fishing episodes, mainly with Jason Quinn, professional bass angler here in the bourbon capital of the world, but we thought we'd switch it up. We headed up to the walleye capital of the world in Minnesota, Lake Mille Lacs, where we teamed up with Brett King, a professional walleye angler.
That's right, we moved up to the land of Paul Bunyan and his big ox, Babe Blue. And we saw walleye up there that were just out of this world. It's the best eating fish you can find anywhere in the continental United States. We were happy to be there. Brett was a real professional and showed us the ropes.
So stay tuned while we get wet and wild with some wascally walleyes.
Trips just like this one are the reason I do what I do. I have a full-time job, but I do this show on the side, nights, weekends, whatever I have to do to get it done, so that I can go on trips like this with my family, my cousin Alan, my dad. I've gone on trips like this before with my sister Laura, and it's just an amazing time, shared with family, shared with friends, and it drives me. It's what I love to do. One of the hardest parts about going on trips like this, whether it be hunting or fishing, is fighting the urge to put down the camera. It's hard being the cameraman all the time. You know, this is my vacation time away from work. This is my fun time too. And I don't always get all the best shots because sometimes I do put down the camera and pick up that fishing rod.
Well, I've been walleye fishing all my life. I started tournament angling about 10 years ago. I started out fishing some team tournaments with a buddy of mine, and I eventually graduated up. I've been doing some pro-am walleye tournaments now for about 6 years. I enjoy the challenge of going to a new body of water and trying to figure out how to catch fish there. I've been everywhere from Cumberland Lake in Kentucky to the Great Lakes up here in Michigan, Ohio, a lot of time in Minnesota, the Dakotas. We travel all over. I usually roll in about 7 days before a tournament starts and start figuring out, cutting the body of water up, getting with the local people, seeing what the local methods are. Every region you go seems like they fish walleyes differently. With walleye fishing, there's such a vast array of techniques that can be used, from live bait to artificials. It can be quite complex, a lot of equipment, and it just takes a lot of time. I also do a lot of guiding here on Mille Lacs Lake, which is behind us here in beautiful central Minnesota. This lake has always had a special place in my heart. It's massive, it's plumb full of fish, from walleyes, perch, smallmouth bass. It's got a lot of muskies. It's a world-class muskie fishery. Plus, it just has a massive amount of walleyes in it that are 21 to 26, 27 inches long, up to 30 inches. For a lot of people, that's a fish of a lifetime for them as far as walleyes go, because they're just not that easy to catch on a lot of days. Hopefully, some of the people down home for you will see what it's like to come up to Minnesota and do some walleye fishing.
Has anybody seen my bobber?
Oh!
Hills and Hollers is brought to you by 10 Point Crossbows, Extreme Hunts, Pike County, Illinois, Shadow Hunter Blinds, the Kentucky Gun Company, Lacrosse and Danner Boots, Derby City Game Calls, Luminoc, Trophy Taker, Hunter Safety System, and Cabela's Tags.
way to start.
26.
Say 25. Go ahead. Cast up ahead of us a little bit here. There's another one laying up there. We're not gonna get to eat them, but they're fun. He got hit by something when he was younger. He's kind of messed up. Mille Lacs gold.
She might be big enough.
Got a big old scar on it. Nope. 27. Well, here in Minnesota on Mille Lacs Lake, they have a what's called a slot limit for selective harvest. And they have to be, the fish have to be under 18 inches long, or they have to be, you can allowed to keep one over 28 per angler as well. And this one comes in right at 27 inches, so it will swim another day. There's a good population of 25 to 27 inch fish in here. There's really not a whole lot of 28s available. They're in here, but it's not something you're gonna see every day. And these you can generally run into on a daily basis like this. So this one's pretty skinny. And he obviously got taken after by a muskie or a big pike or something at one point in time, possibly a boat prop. So healed over good, but no scales there. Right down to the belly. We better get him back in the drink. Come on, girl. Roll over. Posing for the camera. We're gonna set the depth on this slip bobber rig. Do that by hooking a weight onto the hook itself. And you're just gonna let it go down to the bottom. You see the knot going out there on the end of the rod. That's what sets the depth of your bobber. Right now it's gonna be real deep because we just came from a shallower spot. So what I do is I get it to the bottom, reel down so the rod's at the water tip, so I know exactly where it's at. Right there, it's about 7 feet off the bottom. And I typically, I'll set them about 2 to 3 feet off is where I like to have them. So I just slide this knot up like so. And you'll be able to see, like now, the cork is, there's the bottom. What these slip bobbers allow you to do is to reel that knot right in so you can bring the fish all the way into the boat, unlike the older clip-on bobbers where you couldn't do that. They just don't work in this deep water. Take the weight off and you're ready to fish. Walleye though.
Ain't so little.
No, it's a nice one.
He's a keeper. Been positive.
It's gonna be real close. I think it's a good keeper.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's a good keeper.
that's a nice one.
Yes.
There's our first lunch. That's dinner tonight. Pan-fried walleye.
There you go. Oh yeah, all good.
Alrighty.
It's all good. 17 inches.
Nice.
Perfect. I could have used 7 of them last Thursday and Friday. I couldn't get them.
Get a close up to the bobber. Tell me when it goes under. I'm gonna take a little snooze.
Alan might be snoozing at the rod, but his bait is hard at work.
Has anybody seen my bobber? Yes. See, that's
Gonna be close.
Oh, that one's shorter than that.
I don't know. It's gonna be close.
Yeah, you're there. There you go.
Heck yeah.
Hey,
Hook is out.
too bad.
18 and an 1/8.
Oh, snip his tail.
Sorry, guys.
That's all right. You wanna hold him?
First walleye you've ever caught?
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, you gotta kiss him.
Get that on film.
Yeah, get this on film. You ready? I think I'll bite my lip.
He is one lucky individual there.
It doesn't take long for Alan to go from one fish to another.
That's big again.
Come on, be there for me.
Well, once again, got one that's too big to go in the live well, but he put up a really good fight. And, probably the best one of the day as far as putting up a fight. So he was fun, but he gets to go back in the water.
You know them big ones are worthless. You got to catch something small. In 24 inches, you need to trade for a 14-incher so we can eat it.
Master neck cramps. You got the touch, John. You can tell when they're too big.
Yeah, it is a keeper.
Yeah.
All right, Al. Go!
We switched up tactics a little bit here this afternoon. I'll show you here in a minute what we're using. Basically drifted live bait rigs. I've got one hooked up right now on a night crawler rig. Feels like a pretty decent fish. Neat to see him down that far in this clear water. Oh, look at that. Definitely not gonna be eating that one. Come here, girl. Nice. Get that one dug out of there. That's a good character to get on film. Hooked right in the mouth. Look at that one. Isn't that pretty? There she goes. As I mentioned when I was catching that fish, we switched up tactics a little bit here. What we were finding when we were anchoring up trying to bobber fish, the fish, they seem to be moving a lot. So when that happens, I have a tendency to switch over to drift and live bait rigs because you're covering ground, you're on a steady drift running into the fish as they're cruising around. Basically what it is you've got what's called a slip sinker, and you can adjust your weights by depth and wind conditions. It goes to a barrel swivel. And then I run anywhere from, this one here is probably 6.5, 7 foot lead, all the way up to 10, 11 foot. You adjust this lead. Some days they're a little tighter to the bottom. You keep it shorter. Other days they're further away from the bottom. And basically what you want to do with this rig, there's no bait on there, but you just drop the sinker, deploy the line. Like right there, I just hit the bottom. You can see the line slow up and go slack. Trying to leave my bail up. Well, Al's got one going up in the front of the boat now. Isn't that pretty in the water? Yeah, that one's gonna be too big as well. Well, two fish like that, probably less than 2 minutes apart, is the reason we switched up from bobber fishing to live bait drifting. Every time we were setting the anchor on some fish, we'd be lucky to get 2 bites out of them and we'd have to move again. So that's usually my cue to go drifting live bait and cover some water. Nice fish, Al. Yeah, solid 24-inch fish. Like I said, there's a lot of these in here. There she goes.
Every hunter has a wish list, and this is our gear list we've been wishing for. Brought to you by the Kentucky Gun Company.
This is another major part of my life. This is a little company I started about 6 years ago, more out of necessity for myself. When you spend in the upwards of 120 days a year on the water, it has a tendency to take a toll on you physically. What this is, it's a company I started, it's called the Smooth Move Seat Mount. It's a hydraulic shock with 4 springs in here that is fully weight adjustable to accommodate different passengers and different wave conditions. It's remarkable how much difference it makes on a ride across the water. What it is a unit built into your pedestal system. Goes it right in between your pedestal system and your folding boat seat. It fits about 90% of the boats out there that have an open cockpit to them and run a pedestal system. We can accommodate them. Now just imagine being out on the water in rough conditions, hitting waves, and this thing just takes it all right up for you. It's a company I call my basement project gone wild. It's been a lot of fun taking something from ground zero and building it up, seeing what you can do with it. So, like I said, it was just kind of a basement project gone wild for me, and now it's just about a full-time job for me. We were talking earlier about fishing these live bait rigs. Show you here a little bit of the business end of it. I'm gonna bait this one up with a night crawler. I go one time on it, right through the nose of the crawler. And then a neat little trick to do to them is to take a worm blower or a syringe, either one works. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill this night crawler full of air. Because what this does, as I'm drifting along, it keeps this night crawler up off the bottom, out of the rocks for one, and for two, walleyes always feed up, so you want to fish the bait just above them so they see it come over the top of them.
Oh, look at that. Look at that guy. Holy mackerel. Oh, there goes mine.
Who's winning? You or the fish?
I don't know.
How you doing up there, John?
I don't think it's 28. Boy, he's fighting. Look.
Yeah.
24.
It's all that. Look at that girl. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. There's a nice gold one. Lift your rod up, John. There. Nice work, my friend. Watch this. This is how you get close with your prey.
She's a biggie.
There you go.
She is.
Put her on the stick.
Said 24.
You're pretty close.
She's a fat one.
Yes, it is. Yeah, 23 and a half inches.
Well, it's 24 inches.
And it's still fighting.
Not big enough to put on the wall and not small enough to put in the pan.
Yeah.
Back she goes.
Good gold color. Put her back gently. She says, I'm out of here. Nice work.
Little cloud coming up all the way up here to Minnesota. Catch all kinds of these. We put them back in. They just do a great job. It's a great job.
Yeah, this is a good fishery. It's been well taken care of.
Yeah.
It's just a little hard to get small fish to eat here right now. I made a move hoping we could get on a school of smaller fish, but
We might go hungry tonight.
we may have to go buy some fish at the market.
Wow, looks like you guys really reeled in some whopper walleyes.
Yes, we did. We caught some big ones and we caught some little ones. We probably threw back more than we took home, but we caught our limit every day and we brought home the maximum limit allowed by the state of Minnesota. That was some good eating for over a year back here in Kentucky. Can't wait to get back up there again.
So that might be it for this episode, folks, but the fun's not over yet. We still got a lot more coming to you this season, so stay tuned to Hills and Hollers. I'm Laura.
I'm John. Thanks for watching.
Hills and Hollers is brought to you by 10-Point Crossbows, Extreme Hunts, Pike County, Illinois, Shadow Hunter Blinds, the Kentucky Gun Company, Lacrosse and Danner Boots, Derby City Game Calls, Luminoc, Trophy Taker, Hunter Safety System, and Cabela's Tags.
Tenderize them a little bit. Marinate. Nice work, Al. You didn't get tangled up out of that, did you? Things are looking up.